Backpocket presents Golden Nuggets. There are golden nuggets in every podcast we do. Here are our 3 golden nuggets. Enjoy.
You guys right now in Minnesota, it's terrible out there. You guys could probably take your jackets, and you probably have 50 jackets because this is where you live, and that's what you do. And I bet you haven't worn 20 of them in 6 months. So that's a 6-month rule to where you're like, you go in the closet and you say, okay, I haven't worn this in 6 months. I really like it, but fuck, I haven't worn it in 6 months. Gone. All this shit just gone. And you go and find the dudes that are homeless and the dudes that are freezing their ass off, because if somebody's out there freezing and I have a jacket in my closet, like, god damn it, that sucks. Like, that sucks. I need to do something. So, you do that, and then, like, I remember, like, picking up these people from Barstow once. They needed a ride. They were homeless, and there was a chick and a dude. The dude didn't speak any English. He was a Mexican kid, and I'm working on my Spanish. So I was like, well, then we're gonna do Spanish all the way home. And she was like, okay. And I was like, all right, so no speaking English all the way home. We're speaking Spanish. And then she was like, okay. And so we spoke Spanish all the way home, and that kept me awake. I was driving from San Diego all the way to Vegas, and it was after a Hall of Fame deal, and I was like, I gotta get back to Vegas, and I was super tired. Pulled over to get a coffee. These homeless people needed a ride to Vegas. I was like, yeah, get in. And I put them in my car while I was running, and I went in.
Wow.
So I trusted them in my car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So where they developed a certain level of respect for me because I just said to get in the car. And they were like, serious? I was like, yeah, it's running. The heater's on, so get in the car.
Wow.
And so they were
That's
like,
incredible.
Jesus. Yeah, so like I did that. It was pretty cool. But then it was Spanish-speaking class for me, and it was a ride for them. It was awesome.
That's sweet.
And that goes back to that value thing, and I think I can add to that in saying it's selfless. You have the selfless mindset, and it goes back to BMX riding. You realize you're in something bigger, the BMX world, X Games, action sports world, and you wanted to make sure that it was the best product all the time, so you were dedicated to it. MTV, being the host of the challenge, you were a part of something bigger than you. You wanted to make sure it was the best, and you wanted to be the best on it every day. And then that attributes to your day-to-day life, humanitarian work, or even just calling it giving value without recognition on a daily routine. I mean, you're not creating foundation. You might have foundations outside of this, but the stuff you're talking to me right now are daily habits of just giving someone a ride.
Just daily habits, bro.
Yes, it's grassroots.
Just today I probably fed somebody or did something somewhere. Like, my houses are downtown and in a little bit of a sketchy area sometimes, but like every dude down there, I'm just, every dude, every one of them.
That's awesome. So when did this like driving thing start? Because when you started telling this story, it was like, yeah, I just gave people rides. But when did you decide you were like, okay, like, was that the first story when you picked those people up randomly, when you got the idea to start giving people rides? And was it for this long distance type rides, or was it just like quick onesie twosie type stuff?
No, it's everything, really. I mean, it's everything. Like, sometimes I'll be sitting there, and if a dude's like begging on the corner, okay, like those begging people say they make a lot of money, but it's really not a good life. Their life sucks, bro. Like, they're not begging because they're making $100,000 a year and they love it. It sucks. Like, that sucks. So every time, if a dude comes up to me, I'm like, look, bro, I'm not giving you no money, but you can get in if you want to go eat. And every time, the dudes just jump in the car. So that means they're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and once in a while they don't, but they almost always do. And when they do, I take them to go eat. And we go eat and we chill and hang out and have a good time. And then I'm like, cool, let's hang.
So what's it? So someone gets in your car now, and you guys are going to lunch. What do you guys talk about? Is it just like hanging out? You get to know their life story. Like, is there any sort of story?
Yeah, it's pretty much a Backpocket podcast the whole way. Like, the whole time, I'm like, look, like, I just need to know, man, what happened? How come you're out there? What are you doing? And then they'll tell me, this, that, and the other thing. And I'll just be like, well, you probably shouldn't have taken that left.
we tapped into Jochum strength, and there's a lot more that you expect to come out of Jochum strength, but more about you personally on like your own day-to-day routine. We want to tap into that, and that's kind of where the back pocket comes into play of our core questions. And you've heard this question asked many times, so you know the framework. What is your average quality, Austin Jochum?
My average quality? Ton of them, dude. In the last, 3 months, that's what I've been freaking attacking, just all my average qualities. And, I love how you guys bring this up. But mine has been switching my fuel source. And I talked to all my athletes.
Say that one more time?
Switching my fuel source.
Fuel source.
Fuel source,
got
yeah. And enunciate.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah.
Fuel source.
Fuel source.
Yep.
So switching from being fueled from hate to being fueled by love. And that's, just one thing that's been absolutely changed my life. Coming from a small town, I've just always tried to have that chip on my shoulder. I've always tried to be fueled by that hate. I want to prove people wrong. I want people to hate me. I want people to doubt me. I want to get after it, and I just want to be like, fuck you, dude. I did it. You didn't think I could do it. I did it. Mm-hmm. And that's how I've always been fueled. But it never left me fulfilled. And I always believe everything's created twice, first in your mind and then in reality. So having that mindset of I want to be fueled by hate brought hate into my life. I wasn't able to build any lasting relationships. I wasn't able to openly connect with people. And 4 years at St. Thomas, I just walked around with my fuck you radar all the way up to the max, and just want to be that egotistic, that tough football player. And I couldn't communicate with people. I couldn't connect with people. And I was succeeding. I had awards. I was going places, but deep down I was like, fuck, dude, I'm doing it by myself. Nobody's connecting with this. And I always knew it was wrong, but I was succeeding. And it wasn't the unfulfillment of myself. It was when at St. Olaf, I had a football guy, real phenomenal kid. He was talking to me and he's like, I want to be just like you, coach. And it just came up in conversations. I want to be just like you when I grow up. I admire you. That's what I want to be when I grow up. And I was like, fuck, no, you don't, dude. I'm not living my life the way I want to live it. I'm not the man I want to be. And I was like, this kid sees me as his coach Caruso. Mm-hmm. This kid sees me as his coach Herm. And if I don't get my shit figured out, I'm going to bring him down with me, dude. My pillars and my foundation was not set in stone. And everybody, and when you're a coach, when you're that person, everybody's going to try and be on that pillar. And that's your job. That's why I wanted to be this. I wanted to be person's light bringer. And I just didn't have my shit figured out. And I was going to bring this kid down with me. I was going to bring all the people that looked up to me down with me. So the last few months, I've just been focusing on attacking these average qualities and switching my fuel source from being I want to prove everybody wrong to I want to give value to people. I want to open up. I want to connect with people. I want to help other people become better versions of themselves because I'm giving them value, not because I'm taking value from them, if that makes sense. And it totally just changed every single day. I wake up, I've never had a problem with work ethic. I've never had a problem with fuel. It's what that fuel leads to. So now I'm able to connect with people. I'm able to have the same amount of determination, fire, getting up after it. But now I'm doing it for a way better reason than what I was doing it for before. And that, just totally changed my life, totally changed how I'm fulfilled, how I'm connecting with people, how I'm able to lead my athletes. And now when that kid can, it's an everyday process, but now when that kid says I want to be just like you, I'm like, fuck yeah, you do. That's what I want you to do. I want you to open up. I want you to be able to connect. I want to keep growing with you, dude.
Dude.
Oh my God!
You need a fucking podcast.
You need to be a motivational speaker, on a podium,
because it's fucking genuine, dude.
It's real.
It's real.
It sounds good now, dude. But when you're in that fucking valley, that's when you gotta. It freaking hurts, dude.
Right?
When now we're on the way up, and now it sounds good and it's the story, but that's where you gotta go into those valleys. You gotta dig deep and look at yourself and realize there's shit wrong with you, and you have that. You're in that valley, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go into those valleys. And I think a big problem is a lot of people never go in those valleys. They want to stay in that bubble. They want to stay in that midline, and it's safe. It's a safe bubble. You just stay.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go up and you gotta go down. Otherwise, you're not gonna accomplish anything. You're not gonna get that genuine feel. And that's something I've been attacking with my athletes, attacking with all the people. This transformation contest that I'm doing with a bunch of people. I don't give a shit about your physical transformation. I have them set goals. I have them talk to me about what they want to accomplish. The physical thing is my gym. That's my what. That's not my why. I want to change your life. And I think physically, that helps. Changing your physical appearance, changing how you can able to lift. That helps. That's one part of it. But there's so many more parts of your life that you got to attack every single day. And that's my why. And that's the biggest thing that I think will set me apart from other gyms is they want to get you in and get you big biceps. I'm gonna tell you, like, nobody fucking cares that you have big biceps, dude. Like, how are you living your life? Are you accomplishing your goals? You loving your family? Like, that type of thing. That's what I care about, and that's what I'm attacking with my athletes.
Your level of self-awareness is through the roof, and that story or that experience that you endured and are now carrying yourself or helping others, lift yourself up because you're using the value of others in a way that's not like sucking. You're providing, and everyone's getting that source of fuel, as you'd like to say, is incredible. And that's something we strive to do on the podcast. We don't want all these podcasts for us. Like, we're not trying to. This is not making our brand better. It's not, or it is, but in the reality is we really want to hear your guys' story, and we want to put it out as authentically as possible because they're all so good.
You two got it piped down. What did I learn today? Let's get there. My God. Okay, dude. So the podcast industry took a big step last week where Spotify acquired Gimlet Media and Anchor, two of the biggest startups in the podcast industry. Spotify bought them both. I think Gimlet was like $230 million, and then Anchor was undisclosed price.
Lo and behold, we model some of our own business model off of Gimlet. And we host our podcast on Anchor.
So how close are we?
Therefore, we are Spotify.
Yeah. Well, by association, but
no, by definition.
Good point. Yeah. My question was, how soon until we get acquired by Spotify?
That I was on the same trail as you, and I'm thinking 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. Once this TJ Lavin podcast drops, or I guess it already dropped at this point, but
no, once this back end show drops, they're gonna say, ditch what you guys have been doing. We want more of this because you guys really have great structure. Like, when you guys speak on the back end show, you guys are
flawless.
Like, there's a lot that I can learn when you guys talk about the back end show.
Yeah.
Talk on the back end.
Not to mention how like organized your studio is. There's like no cords around. There's a perfect balance of space in the back. This great painting. You guys have floral chairs.
Sam, if you're let's actually, you are Spotify right now.
Yeah.
Can you challenge be Spotify, like you're gonna acquire us?
Ask us a few questions.
Ask us like why we deserve to be on Spotify.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually a totally different question. I was gonna ask, like, besides like your microphones and like your little audio area, like how much do you, like, for undisclosed amount, how much do you think Spotify would pay for you guys, or how much do you think
to buy us out?
Yeah, how much?
And would we be like acquired to run a podcast on their platform, or are we just done?
Here,
like, they just buy us out so we never get to play again.
Here, here, hold on. I got an idea. I'll pretend to be Spotify for a second.
Okay.
I'll buy you guys for $20 and a lifetime supply of LaCroix.
Ooh, $20.
$20 and a lifetime supply of LaCroix.
So we have to split the 20, or do I get 15?
You have to split the 20.
Lifetime
supply of LaCroix.
dude. All right, Andrew.
Every flavor of LaCroix?
You know what? Here, I'll do this. You get $100 in a lifetime supply of LaCroix.
Okay.
And
is it only
once a month you get a BOGO from Chipotle.
Okay. And then do we get to keep running the podcast, or what's our role?
Yeah, you guys will still have the podcast. But
Okay.
Spotify's gonna tell you exactly what you have to say every week and who you have to interview.
But we get a
And-
lifetime of Pamplemousse LaCroix.
And we have to go back to
Yeah.
we have to go back to the old. Actually, another thing, we have to go back to the old studio setup. They want your chairs. They're gonna take the chairs. Yeah.
Ooh, the floral chairs. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I fight for these
Yeah.
chairs. I would maybe if you gave me like LaCroix, like 1 box a week, and no money,
Yeah.
and we get to keep the chairs.
Yeah. See, Andrew's right. I'm on a non-negotiable standpoint right now
No,
where
I'm negotiating.
there will be nowhere in our contract with Spotify that says that these floral chairs will be abandoned. And I think I would even fight to the point where we would be able to be the feng shui designers. I would actually want that in our title.
What if Spotify acquired us to run their podcast department, but we can't record a podcast ever again?
Oh, that's okay, but
How about that one?
I like that more for the opportunity of the fact that, like, if you and I were to run our own podcast app and like know exactly how to distribute,
Yeah, but we can't record any content on there.
God damn it. Then I don't know, dude. I don't want to spill the beans now.
because it's like shit. I would totally do that, but at the
Ooh,
same,
you would.
I want the opportunity to do that, but I also like want to speak on the mic a little bit more than that. So
You could release your podcast, but it has to be on Castbox.
sure,
That's the only one you get.
I'll buy out Castbox. Buy them out. Buy them out. They're mine.
All right, let's trap the book.
So what do you? I mean, that was what I learned. So what did you guys think about that? Like, that's honestly, realistically, that's huge for podcasting because
That's awesome.
90% of our downloads come from Apple Podcasts and Apple Podcast app. I mean, I know all of you guys are listening on it right now. It's thanks.
It's atrocious.
Thanks.
I wish we could have a drop-down menu for each one of our shows. Like, how easy would that be to create on the platform so they don't have to scroll mindlessly to find one of our podcasts?
Hey, Netflix has
Exactly.
28,000 seasons of The Office, and everyone watches every single episode, and they organize it in the right way, and they suggest shows to you. If you like The Office, you'll like Bob's Burgers. You know what I'm saying?